What's going on, everybody? Just getting started here. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year 2026. Shaping up to be a good year, I think. My name is Austin Hamilton, also known as the Porn Coach, here to talk about the most important question in the history of the human species. Is porn cheating? That's the question. Flex City Winter, Happy New Year. Chrissy Soul, I used to say no until years later it led to following and talking to, quote, models online. So yes, okay. Depends on the couple. Okay. It depends on the person, but for me, I caught my man a month ago and I am not over it at all. Sorry to hear that, Josephine. How to quit, bro? Nova, great question. You can't change what you don't name. If you want to change it, you got to decide you want something different in your life. And if you want help with that, go to the link in my bio. Schedule a call with me. I'd love to chat with you and walk you through that. Do I watch it? I do not watch pornography. I do not watch pornography. I used to, but didn't lead me to anywhere good in my life. How long have you stopped? It's been about 8.5 years for me since I stopped watching pornography. Like, not at all. Yes, not at all. 8.5. Did I say months? I meant years. 8.5 years. Yes, I'm taking guests. If you want to come on here and chat, go ahead and hit request, and I will take guests on. Is it normal to feel bad about yourself when your partner watches it? Fortunately, yes. But that's what you got to separate, is that his pornography use or hers has nothing to do with you. Hey there, what's going on, man?
What's going on? Hey, I just wanted to stop by. I overcame it myself, and but I don't know how you overcame yours. But I use scripture and God, so I don't know if that had a correlation.
Yeah, hold on real quick. Are you 18 or over?
I'm 18.
Strawberry.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And have we talked before? Your picture looks familiar.
No. I was in one of your other lives, but I was just in the
And just in the comments.
Yeah, in the comments. Yeah.
Got it. Cool. All right. So, yeah. So, okay, you don't watch pornography?
No, I did for about 2 years. I was heavily addicted, and I just started kind of looking at scripture and what Jesus said. You know, if you look at a woman lustfully, you've already committed, adultery. And I started realizing that I was very fortunate. My parents explained to me what happens in pornography and what actually happens in real life is completely different. And what they portray on the screen and what actually happens, they're actually destroying the whole purpose of it. With that emotional connection, it's just this feeling. But in all reality, it's a bonding time. And I was very blessed. My parents helped me through that to realize it's not just about a feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally, man. So how long has it been for you since you stopped watching pornography?
About 2 years. I was from when I was 16.
Okay, good for you, man. That's awesome. Way to go.
Thank
So
you.
what did you want to ask?
Like, what was kind of your story to realizing that, how to like stop?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
What
good
kind of helped
question.
you?
Yeah, so I, like many young men, I started watching pornography when I was around 12 years old. And that persisted in my life till I was about 32 years old. I'm 40 now, and I was married, still married to the same woman, and realized, kind of like what you said, is that pornography is not real intimacy. It creates unrealistic expectations for sex.
Yeah.
It's dehumanizing and objectifying to the people on the screen. And kind of just had this reckoning point in my life where I'm like, what am I doing here? What am I doing? This is not something that is helpful for myself or for my relationships. And I had to come to terms with that and say, you know what, there's got to be a better way. So instead of going to cheap intimacy, or what we think is intimacy, using pornography, I decided to say, you know what, I'm actually going to try to create real intimacy with my wife and those around me. And so that's the journey I've been on for almost a decade now, and it's been a much more fruitful experience of life since I have decided to do that. So
Yeah, I think it is kind of combating, and I don't know how you feel about this, but I would highly recommend parents sitting down with their children and explaining what real intimacy is. I feel like a lot of times younger generations, they don't know what it really is, so they're going to places like porn to find out where it is. They're creating this just gotta have this size and it's happen this way for this combat, but people are not being taught what real intimacy is when they're younger, so they're searching for a place like pornography to find it.
Yeah, totally. How would you define intimacy?
Intimacy, well, for myself, I personally don't plan on having intimacy because I actually plan on entering the seminary. So myself, I try to stay celibate for religious reasons.
Well, intimacy is not sex. Sexual intimacy is a part of intimacy. But how would you describe intimacy?
I would think intimacy is when two people come together to show attributes of love. But I may be wrong.
Yeah, I think that could define it. I think intimacy, definition I like is intimacy, when we can allow people to see into our heart and really trust and be vulnerable to show them what's going on the inside. That's true intimacy, and I think that that's all everybody wants, is to be seen and known and loved, just for how we are.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, I have a big issue with, I don't know how you feel, but I have a big issue with the kind of the OnlyFans industry. I think it's very demonizing to the young woman on that site. And also to the users as well, because we're allowing young women at the age of 18 to sell their body online, not completely knowing anybody there, and just doing horrible things to the mental side of people.
Totally, man. Chocolate Wonder, there's a name. Whoa, Chocolate Wonder. Yeah, man, totally. Yeah, it's crazy how our culture has commoditized selling bodies on the internet, and the barrier to entry for that is very, very low. Of course, I remember you, Chocolate Wonder. How could I forget?
Can I ask you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Did religion kind of play a role in your addiction to stop it, or at all?
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, like you said, a wise man, Jesus, once said, a man who even looks at a woman with lustful intent has committed adultery with her in his heart. And I think even the whole porn and sex conversation has to, I think, if you're at all intellectually honest, has to invite you into a conversation, or at least the pondering of, is sex sacred? Are humans inherently valuable or not?
Yeah.
And I think at the root of the whole pornography conversation, we have to wrestle with those questions at some point. And so for me, I grew up in a Christian environment, but as part of my journey and maturing, I realized that it really didn't mean a whole lot to me until this journey of infidelity.
But that's how it kind of works.
Brought me into a whole nother understanding of life. So yeah.
Yeah. And I give credit to my parents a lot, because my dad struggled with it as well. My dad didn't get married till he was 38. And he told me he just couldn't watch it and feel disgusted after he was married.
Yeah, totally.
Because he was saying that the one thing that was happening in the bedroom, the one thing he was seeing online was two complete different realities.
For sure.
And one of my favorite, I don't know, have you ever heard of Forrest Frank?
Oh yeah, Forrest Frank. Love Forrest Frank.
He did a segment with Bryce Crawford, and he was talking about pornography, and he cried he said, during our first night, I pulled a move, and my wife asked why you did that, and she asked, where did you learn that from? He said, I know where I learned that from, but I was ashamed.
Yeah.
And
I saw that clip.
And it made me realize, like, it's corrupting the young children from 10 to 12, and it's so evil. And I don't know if legally we can ever get rid of it, but I just encourage every person to if you have that desire, get a flip phone, Don't even try to put yourself in an environment where you're gonna feel like you're going to.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? I just ordered a flip phone. I got rid of my iPhone like a month ago. Nothing to do with pornography. I haven't been watching porn for almost a decade now, but I'm like, this phone is just a gateway into stealing my attention away from my family 24/7.
Yeah.
I got rid of
Yeah.
it. I got rid of it like almost a month ago. But then I realized I have 3 kids and and a wife, and I should probably be reachable when I'm out and about. So I ordered a flip phone, and it arrives on Thursday. Excited for
Yeah,
that.
but I mean, it's true. Like we just live in a society where we push this and this and this on women, and we push this expectations on men. And I get often frustrated when a lot of the women say, "Well, I want my man to make 6 figures," but I never see men kind of saying that to women, you know.
Hmm.
And I've seen a lot of podcasts where the woman said, "Well, my man's got to do this and this," but a lot of the men will say, we would date a McDonald's worker, and we would never care that she worked at McDonald's."
Yeah.
And it's this false expectation that society pushes on the women and men that we have to make $1 million to be successful. But in our reality, why would you love somebody for the money? You love them for who they are.
Hmm.
Money has nothing to do in the conversation. Maybe when you're married, yes, but you should never date someone because they have money. At all.
Well, yeah, and it's not about money, it's about what money provides. So usually women are attracted towards a man who can provide for them and protect for them, not speaking for all women or men. And money is a way to do that. So, but I agree with what you're saying. I mean, the heart of it is, we shouldn't be blinded by money or the number of zeros, but rather the heart of the person. It should be. I agree. The more important thing. So.
Well, thank you for just hearing me out. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, man. Appreciate it. Way to go. 18 years old, quit porn 2 years ago on his own. Good job, man. W's in the chat for him. Give me a follow if you guys don't follow me already. Chocolate Wonder, I'll bring you on here next. By the way, I'm a coach. I do one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching, both for men who are wanting to break free from unwanted sexual behavior, such as porn or sex addiction, as well as women who are wanting to heal through betrayal trauma, the trauma that a partner experiences when they discover pornography or infidelity in their relationship. If you want to schedule a call with me, you can use the link in my bio, or you can just follow me here. But the private coaching group is where it's at. All right. Chocolate Wonder.
Hello?
What's up, man?
Hello, did you miss me?
Oh, I missed you so much.
Hello?
Did you miss me?
Yeah, I missed you. Of course I did.
Bro,
I'm
where you
Christian
been?
now, bro.
Oh, great. Where you been, man?
What you say? I've been staying off of porn. That's what y'all need to do. Y'all need to stay away from porn. Y'all need to do something. Get closer to God. It don't even need to be God, but get closer to Buddha, whatever it may be. You got to move forward in your life. All right? I've been busy. I've been working. I've been getting myself right. Becoming a better man. You see what I'm saying?
Dude, the glory days of the late night TikTok lives, man. How fun was that?
Oh, yeah, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Get right.
Pixel whackers.
What? You pixel whackers.
Oh, Chocolate Wonder. Good to talk to you, man. Are you doing well, though, for real?
Yeah, man, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Working. Got a car. I'm doing stuff.
Still living with your mom?
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah, but she's living with me because I pay most of the bills. So
Got it.
technically speaking,
Mom's living with you. What about porn? You been watching porn, bro?
Oh no, never that.
All right,
that.
good.
I'm not what's the word I'm looking for? A digital diddler. I'm not one of them. A screen smoker. I ain't none of that. None of that. We ain't doing none of that.
Good for you, man. Good for
Telling
you.
y'all, stay away from porn. It's ruining y'all relationships. It's messing up y'all dopamine and all that. Y'all sitting here being pixel pumpers and all of that. Don't do that. Reach out to
Digital
God.
diddler, pixel pumpers. Yeah. All right, man. Well, hey, it's good chatting with you. I'm gonna bring some other guests on.
Yes, sir.
Good to see you.
All right.
Later, bro. Chocolate Wonder, one of the OGs of the Porn Coach channel. Digital diddler. Oh, man. If my husband neglects me because of it, a problem. Yes, that's a problem, I would say. Hey there, what's going on, tired mama?
Hi. So
Hi there.
initially, when my husband and I first got together, I didn't have a problem with it so much because he was paying attention to me. Then I found out he was cheating. He was on dating sites. He was using those sites to find dating sites, soliciting while he was away because he is gone for work. So then it became a problem, and I realized how often he was doing it, because I initially thought it was like, when he's at work or whatever, because he's gone for a long time. And I was like, okay, if it's just a release, whatever. But then I found all the, the trust was gone after that, because I found all the cheating and the dating sites and all of that. So I asked him to stop, and he sat in his truck one night and cried because he was like, you're going to leave me because I'm doing this. And I was like, I'm asking you to stop. And he said, okay. He started going to therapy, had maybe 6 sessions, quit therapy. And then day before yesterday said, yeah, I'm still watching it, but I'm not hurting anybody. I was like, so I'm nobody? It's hurting me. He was home for 6 days. He's only home for 14 days at a time. He was home for 6 days and didn't touch me. So yes, it's cheating. It hurts.
Sorry you're in that situation. Have we talked before?
No, I've come in the comments every once in a while. Not often, but
Okay, got it. So he did 6 sessions of therapy, came back and said, okay, well, I'm not hurting anybody, so I'm going to continue to do it, essentially.
yeah, he said he quit going to therapy because he said, well, while he was going, he's like, it's working. They're giving me tools to do this, that, and the other, understanding like that it's hurting you. It's an addiction for me and yada, yada, yada. And then now like he quit probably a month and a half ago, supposedly because of work schedule. I mean, he's got plenty of time to actually do it, but he's like, because of my work schedule, I can't keep going to therapy. So now he's just back to watching it all the time. And if I bring it up, because I can see his Google account when he's looking it up.
It sounds like the therapy didn't work.
No, it didn't, because he quit.
Yeah.
It was helping during that time because, again, I could see his Google account. It was helping for a bit. And then he's just like, no, I can't keep going, whatever.
Yeah.
So he quit. And now it's just, it doesn't matter that it hurts me. So now he says he wants a divorce because I got drunk the other night on a Friday when I wasn't working and he had the baby and I went off on him. Not just the porn, but the cheating and all of the stuff he's done. Like his kid is doing extracurricular activities in the house, gardening, and I'm not okay with it. And I've asked him, he's always like, let me address it. Like, that's my kid. I'll do the parenting, but he doesn't do anything about it.
What does that mean, gardening? Is that code for a substance that's not legal?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay. All right. So this has nothing to do with pornography.
That part doesn't, but a lot of our arguments have been around the porn and
Well, but it's not even about porn. The porn isn't what hurts you necessarily. It is, but that's true. But what's more true, and I'm not saying I'm right here, but is the feeling of you being neglected and not prioritized by him.
yes, and the lack of trust now.
And the lack of trust. And so he wants a divorce now.
That's
So
what he says.
Okay, what do you want?
To not be hurting all the time and questioning where he is. Is he where he says he is? Is he doing what he says he's doing? Why does he keep pulling out money every time he goes to the grocery store? Like, what's he spending it on?
You want trust and stability. That's what you're wanting.
Yeah, sorry, I guess I can't say that. The crappy part is we've been together for 4.5 years, and I didn't find out until a year ago when I was pregnant with our daughter. We have a blended family. I have 3 other kids, and he has 3 other kids. But he asked for her. She was planned. She was expected. And then I found out while I was pregnant that he was doing all this stuff.
Mm.
But now
Mhm.
it's my fault. Everything's my fault because I get upset and I say something to him and he doesn't listen. So then I drank too much and I said a lot. And now he wants a divorce and it's all my fault, not his.
Why is it your fault? You had some liquid courage and said what you had been wanting to say for years.
Because
Why
I
does
called
it-
him a POS and I said his son is being a POS too. He's 16. But he is. He's disrespectful. Out of his 3 kids, that's the only one that I have an issue with. The other 2 are perfectly fine. They're respectful, they're good kids. But this one, he's testing every boundary. And since dad doesn't ever say anything and I'm not allowed to say anything, once I've had a little too much liquid courage, I just go off on him.
Mhm.
Because I
Mhm.
don't think he realizes how much that one kid doing this stuff in the house is risking everyone else.
Mhm. So if this wasn't about pornography and that fight that you guys are having, what would this be about?
Just a complete lack of trust. Like, I can't trust him to do anything. I can ask him to change a light bulb and he'll do it 6 months later. It's
And
just,
when-
there's no follow through ever. You say
Yeah.
you're going to stop watching it, but you don't. You just try to hide it better.
And how long have you been living like this?
Year and a half
Okay.
that I know of. I
Mhm.
went back and realized he's been doing it the whole, 4 year, like everything, the whole time that we've been together. But I just found out a year and a half ago.
Well, I mean the lack of trust. Has that been going on more than a year and a half ago?
No, that was when I found out everything.
Got it.
So he got upset with me when we argued on Friday, and on Saturday he took me off his family group, stopped sharing his location, tried to change everything so that I can't see anything he's doing. And then he looked up if it was okay to take his 16-year-old and 14-year-old boys to Ojos Locos. Like, really?
To what?
Ojos Locos? It's like Twin
What's that?
Peaks, Hooters,
Oh, got it. A restaurant?
a restaurant where the girls are barely wearing anything.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So what are you wanting? And what are you hoping for?
I honestly don't know. I just needed to vent, so thank you.
Okay. Well, you're welcome. Thanks for sharing. All right.
Sorry it wasn't totally on topic the entire time, but that is
Well,
a huge part of it.
It's 100% on topic. Porn is never the issue. Porn is always a symptom of something else going on in the relationship, of which you just described 10 other things going on. Pornography is one of the things, and your body is crying out to say, this is bullshit and it needs to change. And
You know how much it sucks to be cuddling to watch a movie or something, but he's not trying to actually be with you, and then you fall asleep, wake up in the middle of the night, turn over, and he's sitting there scrolling porn,
Mhm.
just
Mhm.
constantly scrolling porn. Like, that makes me feel like a worthless piece of crap.
Are you in a police car right now?
No, sorry, I'm sitting outside, and that's down the street.
Where do you live? St. Louis?
No. Tiny town in Texas. You can kind of hear every ambulance, cop car, fire truck that is
Got it.
anywhere near.
Got it. Okay. So, I mean, look, you're crying out for change, and my question for you is, what needs to change here? And can you get really clear on that? Hey there, I'm from St. Louis. You're welcome. What needs to change? And will you have the courage to take a stand for what you know is right? Without alcohol.
Well, that's kind of his thing, is like, we need to talk when you're sober. I'm like, but I try to talk to you when we're sober, and then you either say nothing, walk away, or pretend nothing's happening. And I'm not that loud, that vocal. I do talk, but I'm not that loud, that vocal, unless I've had the liquid courage. At that point, like, hell breaks loose, because I'm tired of bottling it up, and I'm tired of all of this.
Totally. And that's the invitation for you for growth, is to use your voice when you're sober, to learn to stand in your power and agency and not bottle it up, but to actually let it out in a healthy way before it gets to the point where you just stuff it in, and then it erupts when you're drinking.
I have a therapist. We're working on that. I didn't quit therapy. When I said I was going to go, I've been going.
Mm-hmm. Good. Good. Well, my heart goes out to you. You're in a tough spot there. You're in a real tough spot. And it sounds like you're really wanting for something more and better. And that is possible. And it will require you to have courage and take a stand for what is right for you.
How do
You
you
can do
tell
it.
your husband that if his kid keeps, like, I told him the other day, I was like, I'm getting to the point where I will call the cops myself on these kids. Like my son has been expelled from school because he had a THC pen at school. He didn't get it here. I don't know where he's getting it from.
Well-
Other than school, because he doesn't go anywhere. He's not allowed to go anywhere because of stuff like that. But
Yeah,
when
I
my
think
husband's son is here, he's a bad influence on my son. So I called my ex-husband and I asked him to take the kids the other day just to get him away from the 16-year-old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know the answer for you, right? And I would recommend. It sounds like you are getting help, right? But find somebody who can specialize in what you're going through. But what comes to mind for me is I just notice how you're languaging that question. How essentially, what is he doing with his son? You guys are married, did you say?
Yeah, we're married, but his kids, like,
I get it. I
years
get it
ago-
that you're a blended family, but I've just noticed how you're blaming, or I'm sorry, how you're using the language of him parenting his kid, as opposed to, it doesn't sound like there's we are parenting our blended family. You notice
because
that?
I've tried that. I've asked him about it. We've talked about it. And it's always let me do this with my kids and you handle your kids. But he'll be
Yeah.
quick to tell my kids to do anything, and I'm not allowed to even ask his kids to take out the trash. Like,
Yeah, and notice
It's a
notice that as well.
double standard.
I got it, but notice the languaging of I'm not allowed to. Right? So who decided that? Who decided that a double standard is acceptable for you guys? Because at some point, that's how you guys began functioning.
Between him and his ex-wife gets mad if I say anything. And then he hears it from her, so he said, stop. Just don't say anything.
Why does his ex-wife have anything to say with how you guys run your family?
Because she has majority custody of his kids because he's never here. So he gets the kids when she deems that he can have the kids when he's here, even though that's not what their custody agreement says. But
Yeah, I got it.
if she says they're not coming, they're not coming. So
Yeah.
if she's mad at me for something, she'll withhold the kids.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot going on here that we're not going to figure out on TikTok Live right now, but I appreciate you sharing.
No problem. Hope the guys listening are actually understanding that it does hurt us.
Yeah,
You may think it's not because it's just a screen, but it does.
yeah, totally. All right, well, thank you for sharing.
Appreciate it.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
W's in the chat for all of our guests. W's in the chat. Hey there, what's going on?
Hi. I was just calling to say I think Warren is cheating. I've been in a relationship, now married for 6 years together since high school. And whether he's trying to hide it as best he can, in his day-to-day life, I can tell when it's happening. He's been off of it now for 5 months. Every time he's hiding it, it gets sneakier and sneakier. Last time I caught him, he was watching it in the shower while playing his like regular YouTube videos over it, so that I would hear the videos and be like, oh, he's not doing anything suspicious.
In the shower? In the shower?
Yes.
Oh, I'm
He
echoing.
would always watch like he would always watch videos in there, like car videos and stuff. But so he figured out if he watched car videos over the porn, I wouldn't second guess it because I would hear the videos as normal videos going.
Look, let's forget about what he's watching in the shower. Can we just talk about that He's taking the phone into the shower with him?
Yeah. And it stopped now. Like I said, he's hasn't been doing it for a while. So, but like I said, for the last 10 years, it finally got to a point where I was like, I just can't do this anymore. And like I said, the way he has changed in the last 5 months, it's just so obvious that he's not doing it anymore. Even if I'm not checking his phone, which I do every once in a while, just to keep us both safe, our family, our kids, everything intact.
Mhm.
But the way, and the other thing is, like, when he would be doing it, he would try to, like, try everything to fix us. Like, we weren't sexually active for quite some time, and he would try everything but stopping watching porn. And now all of a sudden he's doing the same things, but you can tell there's actually purpose or meaning behind them. And I have fallen in love all over again with my husband because of it.
Yeah,
You could
nice.
just tell, like, before it was actions to try to get me to be with him, where now it's like actions to, because he loves me, because he wants to make me happy generally, not just sexually.
Hmm. Yeah.
So it's been a long road. Like I said, we've been together since high school, and it's
Yeah.
been there since we met, pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been interesting of knowing, because like I said, he's had other times where he's been off of it, and like I said, it's just so obvious. You can tell when he has turned back to it.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, there's a saying, a man without a purpose or vision in life distracts himself with pleasure. And what I'm hearing you say kind of talks about the other side of that is, okay, well, when you have a purpose and vision in life, you no longer need to distract yourself with pleasure.
Yeah.
And by him quitting that, I'm assuming he's been doing things that are more meaningful and purpose driven in his life.
Definitely. And he finds joy more in, like, the small, just mundane, like, household things of doing the dishes or painting the kid's bedroom. It makes him happy that I'm happy. Where, like, that, yeah, before it would have just been like, oh, it's another thing she's making me do. But now he's finding joy of just making me happy.
Yeah.
And us as a family happy and the household running smoothly. But he's finding joy in the small things where it used to be a burden. It's no longer a burden to him. It's just life.
Yeah. Good for him. That's awesome. Good for him.
It's been very proud of him.
Nice. I love that. Well, thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
All right. Take care.
Yeah.
There's some weird noises going on there. W's in the chat.
Hi, how are you?
Hey there. I'm good. How are you?
Doing good.
Good. Are you 18 or
Oh.
over?
Yeah, I'm 33.
Okay, cool. Is porn cheating?
To me, no. But can it cause a slippery slope? For sure. Can it cause problems? Of course. That's just my opinion. If you decide to partake in porn, who's to say that you should or shouldn't? If you're doing things that are sneaky and then you're doing things that are you're hiding things, as what a lot of people have explained, like, oh yeah, she or he started doing this, and it turns into like a full-blown like sex addiction type of situation, then yeah, it can result in cheating. But is porn itself, watching porn itself, cheating? Not necessarily, in my opinion. Like, even with my previous relationship, we would watch porn together just for fun, but it was never concerned, like, if he wanted to go off and watch it and I go off and watch it, that we had distrust in our relationship. It was just something to do.
Got it. Just something to do. Like when you're bored?
Yeah, I guess, like, you're in the mood but you don't have your partner around,
Got it.
and you may use porn to kind of help alleviate that issue that you got going on right then and there.
Got it. Okay. Are you in a relationship now?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys, in this relationship, do you watch porn?
I think we watch it individually. As a fairly new kind of relationship. I don't think that we don't watch it together. I'll say that.
Okay. Okay.
I
Why is
don't know
that?
if he watches it, but I do.
Okay. How often do you watch it?
Not, I mean, it's not that often, like maybe once a month if I need to, like, not need to, it's not a necessity. Let me not say that. Let me fix my diction. Like, if it crosses my mind, let's go there.
Yeah, got it. Okay, and you don't know if he watches it?
I've asked him, but he has expressed that no, I don't want to watch it. If I do, it's really, really not that often because I don't want to start a habit.
Okay, got it. Okay.
And he feels like it's like brain rot, so it's not his forte.
Okay, got it. Why does he feel like it's brain rot?
I guess more because, like, in his mind, if I need porn, then I have an issue. Maybe I should just resort to the real thing.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
I mean, whatever floats his boat. If he wants to wait for the real thing, then I'm there, We don't have any problems in that aspect. That's like one person wants it more or one person is turning down the other. We don't have that. So if he came to me and said, hey, I'm in the mood, then there's no problems there.
Got it. Okay. How old were you when you first started watching porn?
Probably in college, like when I was 18, 19, when I got into my first relationship and lost my virginity.
Oh, then you started watching it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Why is that?
Well, because I waited so long to engage, and I was kind of, unfortunately, like independently trying to learn my way around the bedroom without, being embarrassed and going to the next person on what to do. So I resulted to using porn to kind of help me. Then I learned, not the best tool because a lot of it is, staged and fake. So you had to learn what to take away from it and not.
Yeah. Pornography can be a teacher, but it's a pretty bad teacher if what you're wanting to learn is healthy intimacy with the partner.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
If
agree
you want to learn
100%.
unhealthy intimacy with a partner, pornography is a great tool to achieve that. But if you want to learn healthy intimacy with a partner, pornography is not a great tool, at least in my opinion. And so you agree with that?
For sure. I had to learn. I feel like porn was to help with the basics on what to do, symmetrically wise with bodies, like lining stuff up and what goes there and don't go there, what you're supposed to do and not supposed to do, what may be expected, may not be expected. But the overacting in porn isn't useful. And then with that partner that I had when I lost my virginity, we were together for a long time, and he helped me because he was more experienced than I. So I learned through him as well.
Got it. All right. Well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for accepting me. I hope you have a good one.
You too. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
This comment. People who watch it are unemployed and have too much time on their hands. Love that. Stink a butt. I'm going to bring you on next. Give me a minute, though. I'll be right back. All right. W's in the chat for all our guests. If you don't follow me already, hit the follow button up there. It's up there somewhere. Let's bring another guest on. Hey there, what's going on?
Hello, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Are you 18 or over?
Yes, I'm born in 2003.
All right. Is porn cheating?
Absolutely. I think even looking at a woman and lusting with her in your heart is committing adultery, is cheating.
Got it. Okay. Why do you think that?
Mainly my religious views and beliefs. Jesus Christ says if you look at a woman and lust with her in your heart, you've committed adultery with her. So that's what I truly believe.
Okay. How old did you say you are again? 20?
I'm 22.
22. Okay, got it. Are you in a relationship?
Not currently, no, but I have 2 children, so.
Okay. Have you ever been in a relationship with someone who watches pornography?
I absolutely have. I was in a relationship with someone who cheated on me by watching pornography, looking at women, promiscuously online.
Okay. Was that your children's father, or?
Yes.
Got it. Okay. And were you guys married or no?
No, we were engaged. We were going to get married, but it just never stopped. The cycle just continued. I would find it in his phone. He'd be sorry. He would change. And never would. I'd always find it in his phone again.
Got it. Sorry to hear that. That's tough.
Very much.
Yeah. All right. Did you ever watch pornography?
I have. I honestly started watching pornography at a very young age, probably 10 or 11 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched it until my life got saved from Jesus Christ. I watched up until that point, so probably 17, 18 years old.
Got it. Okay. All right. And then you were engaged, you had a couple kids, and then you guys called it off, and are you a single mom?
Correct.
Okay. How's that been for you?
It's been good. It's been better. It's better than just, I don't know, living with that really knocks down your self-esteem. You really become insecure. So I think just being by myself and away from that has really helped me heal and look at myself in a better light.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And how do you look at yourself now?
A lot better. I viewed myself very, very badly before, I guess would be the word. The way I looked at myself, I go back on pictures and just the way I seen myself, how I really wasn't that way, but just the way I seen myself was just disgusting, nasty. I can't even explain it. I felt like, like the nastiest thing on the earth, really. I felt really, really gross with myself.
Mm-hmm. How do you view yourself now?
Better. I'm not gonna say that I think I'm saying this amazing queen. Obviously I see my flaws, but I don't feel as if I'm unworthy anymore. I don't feel as if I'm nasty anymore.
Well, that's good.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So you're 22 years old, single mom. Is dad in the picture still? Or the children's father?
No, he is not.
Okay. So how has that been for you, just raising kids, and any dating prospects? Or?
No, I've just been, chilling off of that, just doing me. I feel like I don't need to look for anyone. If anyone comes, they come. But yeah, I've just been doing me, doing mommy stuff.
Yeah, got it. Okay. All right, well, thanks for sharing.
Of course. Thank you for having me up.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
You too.
W's in the chat. Help cakes. I see you there. Hey, Scan Bro, you should come on and chat. Scan Bro, love to chat with you. Hey there, yeah, I can hear you. Mind Garden.
Sorry, I'm not usually on lives like this, so I'm not quite sure how the mechanisms work, but I
No
saw
worries.
this and it really piqued my interest.
Yeah, are you 18 or over?
Yes, I'm 30.
Okay.
95.
All right. Is porn cheating?
To me, the reason I wanted to pop in here and have the discussion is I think there's a bigger question that looms that people don't consider, and it's what type of person are you if you support that industry? I think with even a modicum of research into the industry.
What was
If
that word
you-
you used?
Modicum,
Modicum?
yes.
Hold
So
on.
even
I
a
need
little
I
bit
need
of
a dictionary.
research.
A small quantity of a particular thing. Okay, a little bit. Got it.
Yeah, so even a little
Modicum.
bit of research. It's a good word, right? It rolls off the tongue.
I mean, you must be an academic.
An English major, yeah.
Okay, there you go.
But even slightly looking into the porn industry as a whole will show you time after time after time, story after story after story of how predatory and disgusting and predatory the entire just business as a whole is. So to me, porn is cheating dependent on whatever you believe in your relationship. I just don't respect someone that watches it to begin with, because you're giving your views, your clicks, which translates to your money, and your time, which translates then for into money, to an industry that abuses, sexualizes, and often rapes and destroys many, many, many young women. I don't
Mhm.
respect someone who watches that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, have you, of the modicum of research that you've looked at, what are some of the studies or reference points you would bring
I
into
don't
the
have them
conversation?
currently pulled up, of course. I don't keep a document on my phone, but I can send you links if you would like.
No, that's fine. I'm familiar with most of them. Anyways, I'm just curious which ones kind of pique your interest.
A lot of them are from some of the actors, as they call themselves, that have come out of the industry. So a lot of really front-facing research in that, with women that have gone through the absolute mill that is the porn industry.
Mm-hmm.
And the only people that I've ever heard have a good experience, even then, it's debatable if they have. I mean, they say they have, so okay. But they churn them out like the equivalent of a pill mill. And it's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
But that's beside the point. The point being, all it would take is even half of a brain cell to look into how decrepit that industry is, how many young girls' lives have been ruined completely. And if you support that, if you want to watch that, not you, of course, just the general statement, but if you support that and you want to watch that, what kind of person are you? Forget cheating. What kind of person are you
Mhm.
to support industries like that? That's
Yeah.
awful.
Totally. This book, I like, The Porn Myth, has a lot of really good insights into that, and I think Jenna Jameson and
Oh, poor Jenna.
who's the other one? Pamela Anderson. They talk about how they look back at their experiences in the industry as not favorable, which is a pretty
I was
common
saved
thing you hear.
myself from getting into the porn industry, thankfully. And let this be testament to just one person's subjective experience with it. But when I was young, I went to a local, crapshoot modeling agency. They sent me and 2 other girls to California. And by the end of it, it wasn't to take regular photos. I was only saved because I had tattoos. And I don't mean saved in a religious sense. I mean literally saved from being in that industry. Both of those other girls are, well, I don't know if they're still currently doing it, but they were as of last year. And it's the only job that they can get now. And they were preyed upon as very, very young teenagers.
Hmm.
It's an awful fucking experience. That's just the raw end of the deal.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how can I respect and love and care about a person that can support that kind of industry? That's sick.
Yeah, I want to dive into that, but what you just shared, that's actually a pretty common experience. I can't remember if it came from The Porn Myth, but some book talks about that, where they essentially lure young women who are barely 18 into photo shoots and essentially
Yep.
make them. They essentially turn them into porn stars right there.
Immediately,
and,
yes.
And there's no turning back from it. And so
It's fucking awful.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, whenever I had to leave, they wouldn't even, so they paid for our plane tickets to go there. I had to scrounge the money and beg my mother to give me money to bring me home, because they said, if you're not going to do this, we're not sending you home. You're done.
Mm-hmm.
And the other, I could see it in the other two girls. One of them I was pretty decently friendly with. I mean, I didn't know her super well, but I could see it on their faces. They felt fucking trapped.
Mm.
And that's essentially what they were, trapped through coercion and being forced into a situation when we were wholeheartedly told that we were going there just to take photos for a modeling agency.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But they said because I had tattoos that my only option was to do, the other girls got the option to do girl on girl or solo. But because I had tattoos, the only way I could stay and they would pay for any of my accommodations is if I did male and woman porn. It's a sick fucking industry.
Yeah, that's very
And
unfortunate.
there was that documentary that came out about it as well with essentially the same premise.
Yeah, totally. Well, I'm glad you dodged that bullet. That's amazing for you. Something that strikes me though is the way you're speaking about men who would use pornography, which I don't disagree necessarily. However, I think there's a lack of awareness with many men and women of how the sausage is made, so to speak. And many people don't
I would
even
repeat
know
that
the
and say
behind the
that
scenes.
if there's a lack of awareness that stems at best from male ignorance, because at the end of the day, if you gave half a rat's ass about the women you so love to say you care about, again, not speaking to you, speaking in general, then you would have half the damn brain cell to look into it. I mean, there's so many videos. The main videos you see if you look up porn are rape videos, essentially.
Mhm.
Are I'm stuck in a washing machine and I can't get out videos. I mean, just how there's just no excuse. How can you look at things like that and see this consistent depravity and ridiculousness of just normalizing rape culture in videos and not think? So to me, naivety is not an excuse. To me, it comes to the same conclusion of, okay, maybe you didn't think about it. You're still an asshole. Or at the bare minimum, you're still not worthy of being in a committed relationship with. Because who the fuck am I to date somebody that can't even see in front of their own eyes, let alone consume depraved, battering rape culture videos? Because I know you're not going on there and looking up romantic slow sex. That's not what
do
they
you think?
feed you.
What do you think you might be missing here with the pornography epidemic?
I think I feel empathy for men, and that I can say I miss that in my anger towards my inacceptance of naivety. Very often I get very mad. So if the question is what I'm missing, it's empathy. But even then, how can you have the ability to want to have intercourse with live, actual women and have that weight on your shoulders of how important that is, how dangerous that can be, the life implications that can have, the emotional implications it can have, but not be well enough in the head to realize what a sick industry you're essentially giving your money to.
I think you're. Look, I don't think you're far off, but I think you've created a bit of like a false binary here. It's like
I'd love to hear your opinion.
Yeah, it's like either we have, this is what I'm hearing, either we have a totally holistic view of the dangers of pornography and we align our behaviors with that, or we're just a sick, perverted, twisted person who's supporting the pornography industry. I think what comes to mind, what comes to mind for me is most people who are exposed to pornography are exposed by the age of 13.
Yes.
And a brain that isn't even developed. And so from age 13 till adulthood, right, 18, 20, 25 years old, that's what they're conditioned to think is normal about sex. So
I would
what
say
you're
that I was
describing as
conditioned to
naivety
realize that
may be
beheading
true,
videos were okay
and
when I was young, but now I'm an adult and I realize that that's not okay.
yeah, okay. So seeing for you, there took a moment to where you had a moment in time where you went from this is okay or not a problem to this is not okay. And it doesn't sound like you have a lot of room for people, men in particular, struggling with pornography to have that same experience, or at least you're wanting it to be on a timeline that you're deciding.
No, I have a twofold prong approach to that. When I say timeline, there is at some point in your life when you're a cognitive adult, and if you can't realize that the industry that you're feeding into is that sick, you probably shouldn't be driving a car. But the other prong of that is, of course, and naturally, that the industry itself needs a complete remake. There is a safe world for porn to exist. There is good, holistic, natural porn. There is a way to view porn and make
What does
porn.
that mean? What is good, holistic, natural porn?
Holistic isn't the right word. I more so meant there is porn that's not toxic by nature. It's
What does that
just
mean?
two people
What is
having consensual interactions in a way that's not exploitative. There is a world where hypothetically porn, you don't see rape porn and stepbrother porn and incest porn the moment you open up a website. There's a world that could exist. So the porn industry itself is
So you're not
the main problem.
okay, so what I'm hearing, you're not necessarily against porn, you're against certain types of porn.
I'm against the porn industry that produces the type of porn. I'm against the people that see exploitative porn and continue to imbibe it.
So you're against certain types of pornography.
Yes, I
Got it.
think we all are. I would
Well,
hope.
That's certainly not the case. Follow me for more. Okay, so you're, from what I'm hearing, is you're wanting to arbitrate how pornography gets to market differently than how it is today.
Absolutely, yes.
Got it. So where's the line?
The moment it exploits anyone.
The moment it exploits. Define exploit in this context.
Coerces someone without their due diligence being in their forefront and they're not able to make a proper decision, putting them in any situation that they could be coerced into doing a type of porn, which happens very frequently, even with very famous porn stars, as I'm sure you know. They get put into situations where they're pushed to do more on set because they're already trapped into the situation. I mean, there's a million
coercion.
of them.
Coercion is the line for you.
Coercion is a line.
A line. Okay, what's another line?
Of course, age limits and restrictions, naturally.
Okay. Age limits. What else?
Most of it just goes back to coercion, because I could say things like coercion and exploitation. If you offer a ton of money to someone that doesn't have it, that is coercion and exploitation. A lot of it goes back to
Okay,
that.
so financial limits, so coercion, age limits, financial limits on it.
I mean, I feel like I could keep going on. Are we hitting something here with this? I feel
Well,
like you're
I
leading
don't.
up to a point.
I'm actually not.
Well, then I can list the reasons that I don't like it all day, but you're aware of those reasons. You've read the books, you know the people, you know the stories.
Well, yeah, but I would draw a line more at pornography. No pornography. I would deem, this is my orientation, as something that is healthy or acceptable if we're talking about humanizing people as opposed to dehumanizing people.
So,
Right.
do you believe that there is?
Like the moment we
Because
start
I'm new to your
selling
channel.
bodies, on the internet, I think that's a problem.
So, let me ask this, because I'm a debater at heart too. So, I would just genuine question.
Hmm.
So, do you think if there is a structure where it's completely, let's say it's perfectly healthy with everything we can envision, and it's free, no one has to pay anything, no one gets paid, it's something that can be tapped into whenever an adult becomes an
Well,
adult?
when you
not
say
legal
no such
thing.
thing as free, when you're saying free, you're saying the absence of monetary exchange.
Yes, if there's
Okay.
no monetary exchange for business nor person, it is entirely voluntarily done and in a safe.
Just because
setup.
there's no money exchange doesn't mean it's voluntary.
So let me give you a hypothetical situation. Again, an extreme hypothetical here, but I just want to hear your views. Let's say that we have a structure of a small community. Let's say a small town in Nebraska. They don't have access to outside sources very much. They only have their parents and their local community. If there was a structure set up and they were curious about what a sexual encounter would look like, and it was provided by safe, consenting adults without monetary value, would you deem that wrong?
I would
They
volunteer
have no
to.
other way to learn about
I would
sex.
Well, that's a unrealistic analogy.
I'm trying to see your
Does-
boundaries.
And I won't be pinned into a corner where you're trying to get a certain answer in an unrealistic,
and let me backtrack. I promise I'm not
unrealistically
trying to be an
staged question.
angry
I
debater
understand.
at
No,
all.
I understand. But that's not a helpful analogy, right? Because in
Well,
the
but
real
it does.
world,
It
in the
does
real
lead
world, what
to-
I would say was I would volunteer to donate books that teach about healthy sexuality at my
So they
expense.
can read about it, but they can't see it.
They could read about it. They could actually see depictions of it that aren't pornographic. There's certainly resources out there that do that
What's
with
the
healthy
difference
sex
between
education.
seeing a photo of a penis and a vagina
Great
versus
question.
a
Great
penis?
question. Yeah, that now you're asking the question of what is pornography. It comes down to intent. Pornography is imagery usually depicting an organ or multiple organs of a person with the erotic intent to arouse. So an educational resource like you might learn about in school would not have the erotic intent to arouse, meaning the goal is not to provoke the viewer or reader to masturbate. That's the difference with pornography. The goal of pornography is to prompt somebody to orgasm.
So then you go back to the base point of, well, no, let me reword that. Let me bring you back to a base point of what is inherently bad about being aroused by another person.
Who said that?
Well, you said the difference between pornography and visual pornography is the intent to masturbate. So that begs the question that it must be that the arousal is
Yeah.
the issue.
Well, let me just ask you this, like put it in a real world situation. Pretty unrealistic one, but would you think it would
We
be,
didn't want to do unrealistic, but okay.
well, this one's possible. The one you described isn't really possible within the
No,
bounds
it
of
is,
reality.
but okay.
Well,
Go
no,
ahead.
because there's presumably the town you described has roads and a mail system going to it, right?
No, not my possible situation,
Okay, well,
but go on.
would you think it would be alarming or at least raise an eyebrow if a person is just walking around in public, let's say a mall, and whenever they see somebody that arouses them, they start masturbating?
Obviously, no.
Why is that obvious? Because it's a very similar
Unless
comparison
in
to
this
what you're
current
describing,
world
and
that
in
you're
this
creating-
case you're saying it's obvious. Why is that obvious?
No, you're right. Let me backtrack. In the current world that you're creating, I don't know the laws and systems set up. So you could technically have whatever fucking laws you want.
Well, I'm talking about America, and if I had $1 for every time I've seen somebody masturbate in public, I would have lots of dollars. So this is actually not too far-fetched of a scenario.
So yes, without consent, showing someone your genitals is a problem.
Okay.
I mean, what is the question here?
Well, look, let me ask you a different question.
You keep asking questions and not answering my questions.
Well, yeah, you're asking bad questions in my
You're
opinion.
not even making real, like not real.
Here's
scenarios.
let me
You're
just
not even
boil it all
finishing
down.
your
Look,
fake
you're
scenario.
essentially talking about if pornography is a problem or not. Here's the question: should women's bodies be sold online?
In our current day and age, I don't think that there's a structure set up to where it's not incentivized in a way that could potentially harm other people. So no, I don't think it's a good idea.
Got it.
Now,
Okay.
women have autonomy to do whatever the fuck they would like. I don't think the systems set up in place have any type of authority to be able to do that. They always end up exploiting in
Got it.
some way, even unintentionally.
Got it.
So your next question.
I don't have a next question. That's it.
Okay, well, I thought I had a good debater on my hands. Damn.
No, I'm not. What are we even debating about? Are we debating?
I'm trying to see your points here.
Okay, my
You asked
main-
hypothetical questions. I gave
Yeah.
you answers,
Yeah.
and vice versa.
my point would be, I would say I would have a preference that we should strive towards not having pornography, but more importantly, what I guess I am picking at and what you're talking about is, I don't think ethical porn is a thing. I don't think that can be possible, in my opinion.
So define ethical porn to me. What is
I
your
can't.
definition?
I can't define it.
You
'cause I think-
cannot define ethical porn,
I can't
and
because
it's because it's a product that someone can masturbate to.
no, I can't define ethical porn because to me it's the moment we start transacting people's bodies, I think
But I
we're in
said
the
we're
wrong
not transacting
conversation.
anything. There's no monetary value in my hypothetical. There's none.
Yeah.
It's
So,
voluntary.
yeah. So even then I would say why? Why are we doing that?
Again,
Anyways,
I gave you a
thanks for
scenario.
chatting.
Oh,
Nice
you
for sharing.
fucking hate
Thanks for
debating,
sharing.
you good debater. Sorry, guys.
No, I love debating actually.
Well, you fucking
Thanks
suck
for
at it. No, thanks.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
All right.
you're welcome.
Bye-bye. And that's the sign of a good debater, is when you're done with a conversation, you start saying F-bombs. Thanks for sharing.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
I was gonna come up when she started talking about like how the men who watch porn are so evil and all these things. But then it was interesting because she started talking about
Hold on real quick.
How?
I would love to bring up Scanbro if he was in the queue, but he's not in the queue. So Scanbro, why don't you go ahead and request and we'll bring you on. All right, sorry, go ahead, Callie. Happy New Year, by the way.
Huh? Oh, Happy New Year. It was interesting though because she started talking about how like porn was ethical after she's talked about that men that watch porn are like evil. So I thought that
Hold
was
on, Scambro, you didn't request. If you requested, it would show up in my request queue, and you're not in my request queue. So that's fake news that you requested.
so
Yeah, ethical porn. That's an interesting one. I think
Yeah.
I think Matt Fradd has a chapter in here on ethical porn. But yeah. All right. What else? Anything else?
But what I was gonna say was when she was talking about how like the men are so evil and everything, what I was hearing a lot in that was like kind of how I feel I used to be. I really had a lot of like hatred and like detest almost towards men that watch porn. So I can kind of like understand where she's coming from.
Yeah.
With that, but I think I don't know, like when you start learning about it more, I think it's important to like what you kind of challenged her on it too, but I think it's just important to understand and have more empathy too also. And this kind of relates to when I tried to come on another time and I was all echoey, but what the other girl that you were talking to that one time that was really like angry about porn too, I always can relate to those girls because I understand why they feel the way they do, but just yelling at someone and telling them how awful and evil and terrible they are doesn't provoke them to want to change.
Totally.
You know, so it's you have to like actually meet them with empathy and compassion and understand what's driving them to these behaviors more
Yeah.
so. So I think that's like an important point. And I think what you said about a lot of boys being exposed so young, they can't even consent to what they're viewing at that age, and it's just so sad that they develop addictions before they're even like of the age to understand what's going on, you know. So
Yeah.
I mean,
totally.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's you know, the line for compassion. I think there is a line, right? And two things can be true. You can have compassion for somebody who's struggling with something, and say, you know what, I don't approve of this behavior. I think it's problematic. I think it's twisted, whatever you want to call it, right? But both of those things can be true. But I think I agree with what you said. It's like people won't change if you're just sitting in judgment of their behavior or othering them, thinking, oh gosh, I can't believe they would do that. But the reality is there's a deeper story there, as you know.
Yeah. And I feel
Yeah.
like that's partly why Adam had a hard time coming to me too, because I used to be so aggressive about how much I hated porn, you know, so that, not to blame myself, but I think it also did make it hard for him to come forward to me because he felt so scared at how I would like react, because I like made it so clear how much I hated it and like all that. So
Totally.
yeah.
All right. Thanks for sharing. I'm going to bring this guy on. Scan, bro. We'll see you, Callie.
See ya.
Bye-bye. Hey there, what's going on?
How you doing, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for sharing. Or thank you. Are you 18 or over?
Yes, I'm 23.
23. All right. Is porn cheating?
To me, porn is not cheating. You know, it's just, it depends on the person. Like, a lot of women in these comments, they say, oh, he's gooning in the shower. He's gooning everywhere. It's just that, to me, it's like you're not pleasing your man enough. That's why every man want pleasure on this earth. You're not pleasing enough. You're not. It just doesn't make sense. Porn is not addiction. It's just that if you're not doing enough in the bedroom, I will watch porn too. Right or wrong, any man will watch porn if a woman not doing enough in the bedroom. But
Got
it's
it.
like,
So you're saying that men watch pornography because women aren't pleasing their men enough?
It's true. That's a fact. It's 100%. 100%.
And what are you basing that fact on?
Well, it depends. It depends. It's just like, if a woman loves their man, is she gonna do what they? I mean, he's gonna do what they. I mean, she's gonna do what they say. But if he don't, then what can he do?
Hold on. You said if a woman loves her man, she's gonna do what he says.
Yeah, that's what I said.
What does that mean?
Like I'm just saying in the bedroom, for example. I got a lot of stuff to do in the bedroom. I'm just saying, it's just that, you know, a lot of women got trauma nowadays. So it's just, I don't know. It's just, to me, it's just that you're not doing enough in the bedroom. It's that simple. It's that simple.
Are you in a relationship?
It is that simple. And
are you
100%?
Are you in a relationship?
Yes. And the thing is, I watch porn with my girlfriend, but she listens to me though. That's the difference. Like, all right, I'm gonna change what I'm doing in the bedroom because obviously it's not pleasing him enough. So it's this, you know, it's a back and forth situation. I had a couple of, you know, up and downs with her, but eventually she started listening. Like, you know, shoot, I might wake up horny and then think, guess what? I'm not getting nothing. I'm not getting, you know, I'm horny as hell and I'm not getting no pleasure. That just don't make sense. Of course I'm gonna watch porn. So it's just like, you know, but she fixed that. You know, if a woman can listen, that takes a man a long way. So it's just like, you know, it just depends how you know, treating it, for example, you know. But if women don't listen or don't, you know, try to please their man or want to argue 24/7, and of course a man is gonna go straight to porn. It's just that simple. It's really that simple. It's really it really is.
So do you think you're entitled to sex whenever you want it?
Well, no, not want it, but if I'm horny, you should please, and I'm your husband especially, you should do what I say especially. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just that, you know, I'm in the mood. So, you know, hopefully you in the mood, you know, especially if we're in a relationship. You know
what if she isn't in the mood at that time?
Well, hey, it's time to go. It's time to, you know, it's time to go straight to porn. But it shouldn't be like that though. It should not be like that.
What do you mean it shouldn't be like that?
If a woman let his man jack off, then guess what? You're not doing enough in the bedroom. It's that simple. And I guarantee you at least 85% of men agree with me. 85 of them, I'm telling you. It's that simple, bro. I talk to multiple men. They're not doing enough in bedroom. Women think they're doing enough in bedroom. Act like they're doing enough, but they're not. They're not. It's just that simple, bro. It's that simple. So it's just that. It's not about lust. It's about love and affection. You're not giving enough love and affection to that man, especially if you married. That's what I'm talking about. If you're married and not pleasing him, that don't even make sense.
So all right. So what if the desire of both partners are different, meaning one has a higher desire and the other has a lower desire.
Well, that means you just with the wrong woman example, because I want my woman at the same extendaments or higher extendaments that I am, because I'm not finna date no woman that's lower than me and I'm kind of high. So I want the same, bond. But if it's not the same bond, then why are you with her, for example?
Well, it's actually, so there's a researcher who I follow a lot, Dr. David Schnarch, and he makes the argument or the assertion that no couple ever in the history of mankind has ever had a perfectly matched sex drive. And that's actually normal. That's how it's supposed to work. So meaning one partner has a higher drive, another has a lower drive. It sounds like your solution to that is either give me what I want when I want it, or I'm gonna goon or use pornography.
Yeah, you can say that. Well, it really depends. Like a woman just said right now, what if he's sick or on her period? Like you can still use your mouth. I don't care if you on your period. I have my girl use her mouth if she on her period. If you're sick, you can still give him a little pleasurement or something. It just be like, oh no, I'm sick. You just making excuses. Oh, I don't want to have sex because I'm on my period. You're making excuses. I understand you and your pleasurement. That's what it's in your mouth for, to be honest. I'm just telling the truth. I'm just telling the truth, man. It's just like that. It's just like that. It's like, why are you making excuses just because you're on your period? It's just, I don't know. Some women are kind of delusional.
You think that's an excuse?
It is an excuse. Hell yeah,
it is an excuse.
Multiple times it's an excuse. Multiple times. See, my girl be on her period, but thing is, I might not can, interactly, have sex with her at the moment, but she using her mouth. So it's just like, it's a win. A win is a win. So, but when she do get off, guess what? I can please myself. So it's just like, it's like a, I don't know. It's just like, it depends what woman you got, to be honest. But
so
if she childish, and she don't want to.
Would it ever be acceptable for you to want it and her to not want it? And you guys don't do it?
It's not acceptable if she don't want it. You can't force her to do something that she don't want, of course. But I'm just saying, if a man, like if that's your man and he's horny at the time, you keep telling him, no, I don't want to do it because I feel this way, or I'm not horny at this time. Like, what do you expect him to do? Just look at you? Like, come on now. Like, nobody just gonna look at you and stare at you.
Well, let's think about that. What else could be possible? What else could be possible?
Well, what else? What? You want me to go on a jog while I'm horny? You want me to go to the park, or you want me to look at something else while I'm having a full?
Well, just think about it. Let's just think that there may be more possibilities than having an orgasm as quickly as possible. Okay, could you think of any other possibilities?
How are you supposed to think of any possibility? And you got a woman beside you and she's not pleasing you. Like, it just don't make sense to me. Like,
well, is her job to please you at your beck and call?
Well, it's not. I'm not saying like she got to please me right then and there, but eventually, yeah, I want that. Yeah, of course, I do want that interaction with her. Like, she's with me for a reason. You like me for a reason, right? So it's just like, you should please me. Exactly. Like, it's just love and affection, man. Love and affection. It depends on every other woman. See, other women don't agree with me because they're not doing enough in the bedroom. They're not. And it's sad to say is it's not. If you're a man watching porn, you're not doing enough in your bedroom at all. And I don't care what nobody says. You're not doing enough. You're on your period, you can use your mouth. You stressed or you sick, or okay, you might be sick, I'll let you get unsick, and then you can still do it with me. It's just that you women make excuses for no reason. Bro, it's just sad. It's sad. Very sad. Very sad. So it's just like, I don't know. It just depends on which woman you got. It really does. Like, men gonna go straight to porn if they're not pleased. 100% down. I'm telling you that now.
Zero. That's not true. Where are you getting that information from?
It's true. It's true.
Based on what? Based on what?
I'm not gonna say off the internet or anything, but in person, I talk to multiple men that watch porn, bruh. And they tell me every time if I'm not getting pleased, we going straight to the porn industry, bruh. It's just that simple. It's that simple, bruh. We're not gonna wait around. We're not gonna feel like you want to. No, we're going straight to the porn industry where we can at least get our nut out at the moment, until a female feel like doing it. But it's just true.
All right. So are you married?
No, not currently married. Just girlfriend. Girlfriend at the moment.
Got it.
But she's agreed with everything I say. It's not like I'm saying it aggressive or in a hard way. It's just that, I talk to her. It's very simple. It's very simple. At first we had a couple of arguments. Don't get me wrong. Nothing's gonna be perfect. But eventually she be like, all right, I love this man. So, I'm gonna do what he say. It's that simple. But women make excuses for that. So it's just like, I don't know. It depends. Like I said, it depends on the female that you have around you, And if you don't love her like that, why are you with her? That's what I'm saying. So I say porn is not an addiction. It's just that
Do you think the way that you're describing your demand for sex is loving?
It's not love. Well, for me, it's loving because it's not. I'm gonna have, we're gonna have a funny interaction before we do it. I'm not gonna be like, all right, just give me sex or give me head or something like that. No, I'm gonna I'm gonna get us into the mood before we, interact. But if she don't comprehend like the moment I'm on or, at the moment I'm horny at the moment, then we're not on the same subject. So, you on a different subject. So I'm gonna just please myself. I'm going straight to the point. It's that simple. It's that simple. Every man wants pleasure on this earth. Every man, if you don't want pleasure, that's on you. But every man wants pleasure and love and affection, So some women don't give that to other men, and then they wonder why is he watching porn? You're not doing enough in the bedroom. It's that simple.
You keep saying that, but it's not that simple. And research has proven over and over and over again that that's
what
not
is your
the
research
case.
proving, bro? How is that?
Well,
can you explain to me?
Yeah, sometimes people turn to pornography because they think the woman isn't doing enough, but it's actually due to a deeper longing for connection that they're trying to have satisfied.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, some of these women do not please them. They be like, oh, I please my man. I'm good in the bedroom. Then why is he watching porn? That's just come on now. It's that simple. Nobody want to be watching porn if they
usually the answer to that is because he learned to use pornography as a pacifier from a young age to deal with emotions that he doesn't know how to be with.
Control, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I've been watching porn since I was like 5 years old, 10 years old. So just like, bro, it just depends on the person, bro. But
so somebody like you, what you're describing is you've learned that pornography is a way to pacify your emotions. So instead of dealing with the disappointment of not having sex, you're saying, oh, I'm just going to go use pornography to feel better right now.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But the thing is, okay, bro, it's man to man. Like, bro, if your woman is not like, for example, you in the mood and she's not like, all right, she says no to you. What is you going to do, for example? What is you going to do? Like,
I'm going to have a conversation with her and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What are you going to do? What is you going to do? That's, for example, man to man.
I'm going to have a conversation and then, I'll tell you what I used to do. I used to turn to pornography. And when I was about your age, and then that destroyed my marriage. And so I learned from that. Now, if there's a misaligned desire, we'll have a conversation. Say, hey, I'm desiring one thing, you're desiring another, or vice versa. Okay, no problem. Let's have a conversation about what we might want to do to accommodate this and when. But really, the deeper longing is not sex, usually. It's connection. It's a longing for connection. And pornography will always get us further away from that connection as opposed to bringing us closer.
Yeah, but exactly. But you got your women. You talk to your women just like I talk to my women. So exactly. So she on the same page as you now, and and y'all both agree with that statement. But if a girl don't agree with your statement, or don't conclude, or don't try at least to agree with your statement, then she's not for you. She's just there to be there and act like she's pleasuring you, and in your mind, you're not getting pleasure in her. So just like and exactly, you just said right now, if I'm not getting pleasure, you're gonna have a sit down talk to her, about that and why you don't feel like.
I actually didn't say that. I actually didn't say that. So what did you say? I did not say if I'm not getting pleasure. Saying if there's a desire mismatch, then we'll have a conversation about it. No problem. The way you're languaging it is very selfish. It's me. I need to be pleasured. I need this right now.
It's not you, bro. Y'all both need to be satisfied. I'm just saying, if a woman not satisfied, why are you staying with that man? Some women say, "Oh, I'm staying with him because, it's not all about sex. We can negotiate it like some like."
Can we talk about why were you watching pornography when you were 5? What's up, Danielle?
It be like that sometimes, bro. I knew it. It's just a lot of a lot of stuff that going on in your life, bro. So
what was going on in your life when you were 5 that you were using pornography?
Bro, it's just at the moment I was horny, bro. Like and at my age, and the thing is, I used to be around a lot of women, bro. A lot of them, bro. And most of them didn't wear no clothes nowadays. But at the time, I couldn't get them because I was young at the age. So, I used to look at stuff like that, and I used to read onto it. I used to mainly be alone most of the time. So it's like, wow, okay, she's kind of sexy and this and that, blah, 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 this. And I searched up on the internet a couple of times, and I found, and then that's the day I found pornography, bro. And ever since, it's been an honor, to be honest, especially if you're not getting pleased enough by a woman, or, at the time you're at the young age, it's it depends. It depends, bro, on the person, to be honest.
When you're 5, bro, there's no way you're telling the truth right now.
Bro, I was 5. You might not believe it, bro, but trust me, bro. I was gooning when I was 5 years old, bro. Trust and believe that. Trust. I'm telling you, bro. I was definitely gooning. Back to back, every day. Every day, bro. Every day I was gooning, bro. Every day. Since I was I stopped around like 16, 17. But, now I can really talk to my women and get pleasure by her, bro. So it's just like, I don't really have to watch that, for example. So it's just like, she listens. If a woman don't listen to you, she don't love you. Simple.
How did you access pornography? How did you access pornography when you were 5?
Well, I had a phone, of course, bro, and I searched up ass and excuse my language, but sexual stuff.
What kind of phone did you have?
You say what?
What kind of phone did you have?
I had an iPhone at the time. They're like a mini iPhone, like the new, like the first iPhone that came out type. Yeah, that's the type of phone I had, watching that pornography.
How did you get the iPhone?
Mom gave it to me, bro.
Was your dad in the picture?
No, dad was not in the picture at the time. Dad was definitely not in the picture.
All right, so you're telling me that you didn't have a dad in the picture. You had was it a single mom raising you?
Be like that, but that's what they be like, dad.
And you're telling me that when the original iPhone was released in 2007, 2008 and cost an exorbitant amount of money, your mom gave you one as a 5-year-old.
Yeah, bro, I was the only child. I would expect you to give me an iPhone at my age, 5, 6 years old. If you're able to walk and talk, bro, and comprehend in life, so you can get an iPhone. Trust, it's not that hard.
It was actually,
especially if my mom.
It was actually pretty hard back then, because the iPhones just came out.
But for me, I had it, man. I had it. Trust, man, I had it. First iPhone out. It wasn't that expensive too. You act like it was that expensive. It wasn't that expensive, man.
Relatively speaking, they were very expensive back then. $600. Can you believe that?
Yeah, it was $600. But my mom had it like that at the moment, so she bought me one.
Got it.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, man, every man should be pleasured, man. So it's just that if your woman not pleasuring you, you should just look for somebody new. Or, it's just stuff like that, bro. If she's not able to listen to you or comprehend the stuff you saying, she don't deserve to be in your life, period, bro. Like a woman said, she's pregnant and she's making excuses. If you're pregnant, you can use your mouth. It's that simple. I don't care if you're pregnant. I made you pregnant for a reason, right? So why you can't use your mouth? It just doesn't make sense to me, All
right. What's your name, man?
Like my real name or just my username?
Your real name?
David.
Got it.
Yeah, David, man. But yeah, man, that's how life is, man. Some of these women don't listen, bro, and they make too much excuses, man. Too much excuses.
All right, David. Well, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, you welcome, bro. Nice meeting you.
I'm pretty sure he was trolling. Okay. This will be good. I mean, I've heard of people exposed to pornography at 5 or 6, exposed, but the way he was talking about it, I mean, that's, I don't know. Hey, what's going on? Trump forever, you there? Hello? Hey there, what's going on?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Are you 18 or over?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
59. I'm old.
59. You're old. All right. Is porn cheating?
I don't think so, but I think it's a mindset. Some people would say it's, like mentally cheating, but I don't think it's cheating. No.
Okay. Got it.
I think a lot of men, well, women too, but I'm just saying, like a lot of them respect their partners too much to, in other words, they have mental fantasies and they go off, and I don't think it's lusting after these people. I think it's just more fantasy. I think a lot of times, because they do really, really raunchy things that most women are not going to do in the bedroom. I mean, I'm sure there's a few out there that do with their husbands, but and so I think like a lot of men look at they respect their wives, and they love their wives, and they love making love to their wives, but they don't really want to do it. You know what I mean? Like they don't want to, like if they go off alone and watch porn, they can like get that fantasy of like doing something really nasty and like as a fantasy, and then come out of it like, but they don't want to like ask their wives to do that kind of stuff because it's like degrading. You know what I mean? So I think if they do it in a healthy way and they're not constantly watching porn, or if they're not, because it can be an addiction. It's like social drinking. If you're going to go out and have a few beers with your friends every now and then, that's fine. If you're going to sit around the house and drink all day, well, you're an alcoholic. So I don't know. I think it can be healthy for men as an outlet, in moderation. I don't know. That's kind of the way I feel about it. I don't.
Got it. Okay. So
see
you
where I'm
think,
kind of coming from?
yeah, I'm tracking with you. So you think it can be healthy for men in moderation?
I think yeah. I mean, men are very sexual, and I mean, women can
So
be
are
too.
women.
But I mean, women can be too, and there are, but I think men. And I'm not saying all men, and I'm not dogging on men at all. Really, I'm just saying that I think a lot of men have extreme fantasies, and I don't really think there's anything wrong with going off and watching something like that. That if it gives them some kind of pleasure.
Got it. Are you in a
In
relationship?
moderation. Yes, I've been married for 35 years.
All right. Do you or your partner watch pornography?
I used to watch it a little bit with friends like years ago, but like I've never watched it with him. I know.
What do you
that
mean?
he's
What do you
done it
mean
in
with
the past.
friends? Like you guys would just sit on the couch and watch porn together?
Well, like yeah, like I came back from a party one time, and there was like maybe 5 or 6 of us, and somebody's like turns it on and she's like, look at this, and we all would just kind of like laugh and just sort of, I don't know. No, I'm not into porn, but I'm just saying, like, I know my husband's watched it before, and it didn't really bother me. I mean, because I know he's not. I'd rather him do that than go out and cheat. But he doesn't. It's like I've only caught him like 3 times in like 35 years.
Got it.
If he does it more than that, I don't know about it. I don't even want to know about it.
Why do you not want to
You know
know?
what? Well, it's
What would you have to confront if you did know the extent of his pornography use?
well, if he was doing it all the time, and I was like, I'd catch him on a daily or something like that, I'd probably sit and talk to him and ask him, why are you like so into porn like this much? Like, but at the same time, I think it could be normal for men to engage in it.
All right, so you've been married 35 years, you said, and you're 59 years
Yeah.
old? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So what is normal about a married man masturbating while watching strangers have sex on the internet?
I'm not going to say it's normal, but I
Oh,
think
I
if
thought you
they-
just said that. I'm sorry.
Well, I think if they have like if they have it, say, in a fashion, like a fantasy of watching 2 women together, okay, I think it's weird, but if that's what they fantasize about and it gives them some pleasure to watch it every now and then, like, I don't really see that it's that big of a deal. Now, I mean, yeah, I don't really think it's that big of a deal.
So you don't think it's that big of a deal for your husband to fantasize about other women having sex and presumably masturbate to it?
I think it's like, I mean, it's not something I would want, but it's not anything like I think is such a big deal to where, I mean, he's a man. I mean, I don't know that he even masturbates to it, but obviously if you're going to watch it, you're probably going to masturbate. I mean, that's what I would think.
Yeah. He's a man, but he's also a married man.
Right.
So why would a married man look at other women having sex?
I don't know. Because people are sexual.
But
they're
more importantly,
sexual.
I'm curious, why would a married woman not have a problem with her married man husband using other women who are outside of his marriage to get sexual pleasure from?
Because I don't know, maybe because I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it with another woman. He's never asked me to, but you know, if he fantasizes about it and wants to watch it, I mean, it's I don't see the big harm in it. Unless, like I said, I mean, if he's doing it on a damn daily basis, you know, I mean, that could be a problem. But I mean, like I said, I've only, you know, walked out of the bedroom in the middle of the night and seen it on the TV and just walked back in the bedroom. I was like, you know, maybe 3 times in 37 years that we've actually been together, married 35. But I mean, I'm just saying, it's like, and I don't know, I just didn't find it to be that big of a deal.
Got it. Well, do you think he's done it more than 3 times in the last 35 years?
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know this, but he probably has. I mean, I don't know, but it's possible. I'm
Yeah.
not going to say no.
Yeah, I mean, the odds of it only being 3 times would be crazy. It's
But I don't
most
think
likely
that
much
would-
more than that.
Right, but I don't think that is, you know, if I was like, I don't feel like he loves me any less. Like, he's a good husband.
How do you think he
So
feels
he-
about the women on the screen?
He probably probably just like, you know, like just whores.
Oh,
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would think he would just be like, he probably just looks at them as dirty women.
got it.
I
So
would
he's
think.
looking at whores and dirty women and deriving sexual pleasure from viewing them. How do you feel about your husband doing that?
I think it's not. I don't look into it that deep. I don't really think that he's. I don't know. I don't think of it as that big of a deal. Doesn't
Got it.
bother me that bad.
Okay.
I mean, if he wasn't sleeping with me and he was like, you know, like acting different and like, you know, didn't want to touch me, but I was always finding him on, you know, constantly, you know, then it could be a problem.
Got it.
But I feel like he probably, I don't know, or not just him, but any man, you know, a lot of men like extreme dirty stuff. And I'm not saying every man, but a lot of men do. And like I said, but they respect their wives and they don't want to ask that of their wives. So they just go off and watch it sometimes. I don't know. I'm not a man, but I don't really know what they think. But I think it's just sexuality. I don't think can always be, you know, a negative. Like, you know, we're all sexual. We all, you know, they say that most of our sex is in our brains and not in our bodies anyway. So I don't know. I don't know. That's just kind of my take on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, got it. Interesting. Have you ever, have you really like thought about this deeply before?
Well, not like, no, I don't sit and obsess about it or really think deeply about it. I think it's just part of human nature, sort of.
Got it. What?
I mean,
Why did you request to come up here and chat? I'm curious what interested you.
I don't know. I was just flipping through my phone and I just thought I'd engage in a conversation.
Got it. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for sharing.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right. You too. Bye bye. Hey there, what's going on?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. Are you 18 or over?
Yeah, I'm 22.
All right, cool. Is porn cheating?
Mentally and emotionally, yes. Hold on, I'm kind of nervous. Anyways,
Why are you nervous?
probably because I've never been on live before, so
You've never been
um,
alive before, so why did you decide for your first live to be a porn live?
that's so funny. Probably because this has impacted my life in the past year, like, to a big extent. I'm just gonna give some backstory.
Mm-hmm.
So, me and my partner have been together for 2 years now. It'll be 2 years in January, the end of this month. And when we first started dating, I was aware that he watched porn like actively, but I didn't know to the extent of it. And I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. Because when he had told me about his past exes and stuff, he would say like, oh, I had to lie about it because they were like controlling and stuff. That was a red flag that I kind of ignored. And I was like, okay, well, I see that he reacts that way. Like if someone tries to control him, he's gonna lie about it. So I'm like, okay, do what you want. Like, you know what I mean? Because I didn't think it was as deep as it was at the time. You know, and I'm not trying to be controlling. I'm gonna let people be who they are. We have a partnership. I'm not your mother. Anyways, and then towards the middle of our relationship, we kind of got into religion and stuff, and I just discovered, you know, like, sorry, I'm like buffering right now trying to think. I discovered like the
It's all
effects
right.
of
Hold on.
pornography.
So take time out. What do you notice coming up in your body right now?
My chest is tingly and I'm profusely sweating.
Okay. All right. So what is that about? Can you just speak to what that might be trying to tell you?
Probably because I've had to deal with this on my own and I don't really have a good outlet besides like journaling and, you know, self-reflection to kind of talk about this.
Okay. So you've been carrying this for a long time, and this is your first time being on TikTok live, period, and you're talking about something that is deeply personal to you.
Yeah, but I gotta get it out. And
I know.
you would understand.
Yeah, I'm here for it. But just notice that, like, honor what your body is telling you. You don't need to rush anything here, okay?
Okay. But after I had changed my views on it, I had a face-to-face like sit-down discussion. I was like, hey, I know that I said I was okay with this before, but here's why I'm not. Here's how it affects my views on myself and my safety and intimacy with you. This is how I feel about it. And he was like, because he had mentioned before that he didn't want to do that anymore. And he was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that anymore. And this was his own idea, not mine. And then he was like, oh, I slipped up and watched it. I felt bad. I wanted to tell you. I was like, okay, no problem. And I was like, thanks for coming to me. And we moved on. Later on, I set that face-to-face boundary, discussed it with him. And he was like, oh yeah, I'm on the same page as you. That makes 100% sense. And I was like, are you sure? And I was like, I understand how like porn addiction works. And he's like, oh, I don't have an addiction or anything like that. It's just a bad habit. I'm like, okay, whatever. We continued our relationship for like 7 months after that. And I kept getting these weird feelings. And I would say it's my intuition because I wasn't anxious about it. It wasn't like, oh, my chest is hurting. I bet he's doing that. It was like, So I'm a very straightforward person. I asked him, I was like, hey, are you watching that? Are you having any trouble? He's like, no, not at all. Very confident, very reassuring. And then I'd never touched his phone either. Because like I said, I'm not, I don't know. I just don't feel like doing all that. So I had this weird feeling. So of course I looked, and I didn't even have to look. I opened Safari and there was 36 tabs open. And then he had told me previously that he would watch porn on like Twitter and stuff, which I don't really know how that works because I don't use Twitter. And I had saw where he had logged into his Twitter, like, because he deleted it off his phone, but he would go to Safari and log into it and watch it. And I was like, okay, sounds good. So I woke him up. We had a discussion. He was like, I just didn't know how to come to you. I only messed up the past like 2 weeks. That's like 2 weeks worth of whatever. And I don't know. I don't really know. We talked about it. I forgave him. We moved forward. And he said that he had stopped, you know, because it set that boundary. 6 months later, he had slipped up for quote unquote 2 weeks. We go to Florida for his birthday, and we're on vacation, and we are having the best time ever. But the first day we're there, I'm putting on my bathing suit and I'm crying, and he's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I've dealt with insecurity ever since I found that in your phone." I said, "I know it doesn't have to do with my looks, and it has to do with more of like a chemical addiction in your brain since you've watched that for so long. You know what I mean? Like the serotonin, dopamine boost, whatever." And I was like, "But I'm insecure." He held me while I cried, comforted me, whatever. We come back home from vacation, and he's like, "I have something to tell you." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, go ahead." And he was like, "I stopped watching that." He was like, "But I didn't realize I didn't have a porn issue. I had a lust issue." He was like, "I have a problem with a wandering eye." He was like, looking at other women and fantasizing about them. And I'm like, "Okay, well, where's this at? Because you just go to work and home and you're with me. So what's happening?" He was like, "It was really bad in Florida." And that really broke my heart because he had saw me crying and watched how that affected me, reassured me, and the rest of the trip did that. I mean, obviously he felt bad enough to tell me, but honesty doesn't really, like, I'm not going to applaud you for honesty because you've had a lying problem anyway, so that's the bare minimum. Anyways, that affected me really, really bad. And he was like, "I just wanted to come forward with you because I'm trying to heal and get rid of this lust issue." And I noticed that, like, you know, when I stop watching that, it resurfaces in other ways. So he's trying to stop, and he's becoming aware of where it's like resurfacing. And I can tell a difference in our relationship now that he has stopped, especially when it comes to intimacy, because it's less of like, I feel like a lot of men that watch porn, when you sleep with them, they're doing the whole aggressive choking, like just very selfish kind of mannerisms. And now it's more of like a gentle, he's very, I don't want to say he's submissive. I'm not trying to tell his business, even though I kind of am. I don't want to say he's just very submissive now. He's very gentle, and I don't think it's an act. I can physically feel a difference, because used to he would last 15-20 minutes. Now he lasts 3 minutes, if that. So obviously there's somewhat of a difference, and we're very transparent in other aspects. But another issue that I've come across is just like 2 months ago, I looked at his phone again because I don't know, I'm just anxious about it. I mean, I'm trying to work things out. And I saw in his email where during the time where he said, "Oh, I slipped up for 2 weeks," he had been doing it the whole entire time. So he'd been lying to me for about 7 months straight, watching that multiple times a day, because it would say, "Hey, you logged in to your Twitter, verify with your email." So he lied to my face and crossed a boundary that I had for 7 months. And then when he got caught in the lie, he lied about it again, saying it was for 2 weeks. And I don't know, we're doing better now, but it's deeply, like, I mean, I wear makeup often. I like being put together, but it gets to the point where I wear makeup away from him because I don't like looking in the mirror after that. I'm very aware that it is not me that looks bad, and it's not that I'm not doing anything. Like the girl previously said, like, "Oh, sometimes they have fantasies that they're not gonna get with their wives or whatever." I'm the kind of girl that will do anything once. When I tell you that there's not something that's limited with him or with us in that aspect. So I don't know, and he blames it on seeing that at an early age, but I've seen it too. Like, I don't know, and he blames it on not having a mother around. I didn't have either of my parents. So I don't really listen to people's excuses like that when they're like, "Oh, I had a poor childhood." I did too, and maybe he's not as self-aware as me, but I just don't really hear it. You're grown and you know right from wrong, and I would understand if I said, "Hey, just don't do that," and he still kept doing it, but I had a sit-down conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So I just never know if he's changed fully or not, because that's hidden, and I'm always just anxious about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right.
That's
So
basically.
yeah. All right. Thank you for sharing. I know it was it's hard for you to share this. How are you, or what are you noticing in your body after getting that out there?
Now I'm fine.
Now you're fine.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, now I'm fine. I get it out.
Okay. All right. So, what are you hoping for to be different?
Just more transparency and honesty, because when I had first confronted the issue, I don't name call or whatever, but I told him, I said, I think you may be a porn addict. And he denied it. But recently he did, after he had stopped, he was like, I didn't realize, but he was like, yeah, I was definitely a porn addict, like 100%. So I realized, like, when your brain has an addiction like that, you're not gonna think of other people. You're gonna do whatever you can to feed into that addiction. So, you know, when you're confronted on stuff like bad habits like that, of course you're gonna be in denial, which at first he was. But I think now that he's stopped, he's not in denial. He's very clear. He's like, oh yeah, I did that. And he does confess to me that he feels a lot of guilt all the time, because he said he feels like he was blindsided for so long, because he had done that his whole life since he was like 7 years old. So he was like, that was just a daily thing for me. And other girlfriends had fussed about me, but they were never serious relationships, so I didn't really take them seriously. And he's like, but I actually want to be a man for you. And he was like, I've noticed that people in your life have a difficulty changing. Just some lore, my parents are drug addicts or whatever. So he's like, I want to be a man that changes for you. You know, and I told him, I said, I've waited my whole life for my dad to change. I'm not going to wait for you to change, because I have my boundaries and I know what they are. And I'm scared of looking stupid for having so much grace and patience. But like I said, I have seen noticeable changes in his character. He's very attentive to me now. He's very open with his emotions and things like that. We communicate a lot better now. I don't know. And our intimacy is way better. I don't know.
Got it. Okay. How have you guys been doing with like forgiveness and repentance and restoration in your relationship?
So on his side, he's done very good. He always tells me, like, I'll come to him and be like, hey, I'm feeling insecure. Hey, I saw this on my social media and it triggered me. And he always tells me he wants to feel my feelings with me. He's like, I want to be one person, and whatever you're feeling, I want to feel. Because I mean, he's like, I cause those feelings of self-doubt and stuff with my actions. He's like, so I'm going to feel them with you. He's like, I'm not going to make an excuse. So he listens to me and he talks to me. And that's a plus side, because a lot of men are like, oh man, that was months ago. Why are you still talking about it? Me personally, I've struggled with resentfulness, which we've discussed this also. I've noticed that when I'm away from him, I'll think about it and I'll get mad at him, and he thinks we're doing fine, and then he'll start talking to me and I'll be upset, and he's like, I don't understand that part. But that was me saying like, oh, I forgive you, but I didn't actually know how to forgive him. Yeah, my biggest fear is I'm 22 and I'm a relationship kind of girl. I want a family and stuff like that. I'm scared of continuing with him and having kids and a marriage, and then find out like, oh, he did that the whole time, just like when he did that for 7 months straight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want that for my life.
Totally. So you got burned by him, and he now seemingly is doing better now, but you're still afraid that this could happen again. And what you're wanting, it sounds like, is, at least with him, or at least in general, but maybe with him, you want to get married and have kids, but you don't want to be blindsided again by a betrayal.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, how can you not ensure that that can happen? That's not the right question. But what if you saw this? I get that you're in the thick of this right now, so I don't want to at all, overlook the fact that you're still in the acute betrayal phase. But what if this was inviting you into an awareness of how to approach your relationship with him from here in the future? What would you do differently?
I would probably be more firm. Like, if there's anything relating to this that happens again in the future, there's no conversation about it. There's no nothing. I'm going to leave. And he knows that. I did break up with him for 2 weeks. I know that sounds so stupid. That sounds so dumb. But I did. So he knows I'll leave, and I know a lot of men, the more chances you give them, the more they think, oh, I did it again because I thought I had another chance because you kept giving me chances. I know a lot of manipulators think like that. I don't know, I'm not gonna settle. I've more or less focused on my future, and I'll include him, but I don't just settle on the fact that, oh, it's only him and everything about my future has to be about him. I never settle on that anymore. Because I'm not going to make my future another person, especially one that's had a lying habit and a lust habit.
So what type of relationship would you have to have, and what type of communication would you need to have in the relationship to have open conversation about this and other issues?
I mean, we have open conversation now, so we don't really have the issue. The only issue is the fear in the back of my mind, because if you can lie for that long, you can do it again. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. What else?
That's kind of it.
Okay.
Kind of really it.
That's kind of it. Okay, well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, take care. Excuse me. Oh, I forgot. W's in the chat for our guests. All of our guests. Most of our guests. Give me a follow if you guys don't follow me already, if you like my content. And if you don't like my content, no problem. Come back and argue with the people in the comments sometime. And proud of her for speaking up. Yes, absolutely. W, Libby, it's hard to speak up on your first TikTok live about pornography. So, way to go. What's going on, Callie?
I wanted to talk to that girl. I don't know if she can come back on. I wanted to speak to her as someone who has also been betrayed. It's not exactly the same, but
I'll be right back, Callie. Keep talking, okay?
Yeah, there's certain things I can relate to that I wanted to talk to her about.
Go ahead, Callie.
Okay. Well, one thing I was gonna say was, she was talking about how he lied. Like you kind of came to him, and after you had come to him, you caught him that he had lied before, and it wasn't like he was lying in that moment, but it was like you found out that he had lied about a previous thing and it upset you. And I've had that experience, and it was really hard to build back trust after that. So I can't understand that. I've come to understand, for me at least, and I think it sounds like it could be the same situation that your boyfriend's going through. But for me, it seems that my husband was, because it was in the very beginning of me finding everything out, and he told me that it was a 2-week period. That actually, yeah, he told me 2 weeks, so it was the same thing. And then it ended up being like our whole relationship that it was, and I figured that out instead. And he wasn't using it anymore at that time when I found that out, but I found out that he had been using it our whole relationship, and it wasn't just 2 weeks. And so that was upsetting. I kind of have realized that a lot of men, it's very hard for them to be completely honest about these things just because there's so much shame attached to it. And they feel so deeply shameful about what they're doing, and they're so scared. And that's not like a justification. Like it's not okay to lie. I'm not saying that, but maybe like it does seem like he's meeting you with a lot of empathy and compassion, and it does seem like there's hope there and that you can possibly work through this. And I know it's hard to build back the trust after that's happened, but I've been there, and I think it's really hard for men to be completely transparent and honest from the get-go. They're really, really scared to, so they hide things when they shouldn't because they're terrified to like be completely open about everything.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. All right, well, thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, I got about 10, 15 more minutes today. Excuse me. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. I hope 2026 is off to a great start. And the great comedian Larry David, founder of Seinfeld, co-founder of Seinfeld, yesterday said, I don't know if he actually said this, but I saw a meme that yesterday is the last day of 2026 where you can still say Happy New Year. I'm going to extend it to today. So Happy New Year. And after today, I won't say it anymore. I probably will though. Happy New Year. There is a line of when we should stop saying it though. When is the line, in your guys' opinion? When should we stop saying Happy New Year? What date? I think probably like Wednesday, the 7th, is a good day because kids are back to school, at least for me today, Monday, and I'll probably see a couple people like tomorrow at like practices and stuff like that. But Wednesday feels like a good line. January 2nd, a full week. The 10th, low key. Someone's going to be out there in April saying Happy New Year. Hey there, what's going on?
Every time I beat it, I have to buy my girlfriend McDonald's.
Thanks for sharing. I missed the first click, disconnecting that person, but I got the second one. Hey there, what's going on?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Are you 18 or over?
I'm 30.
You're 30? Okay. Are you a troll?
No, I'm a
Okay.
30-year-old.
Yeah, you're probably
Not
not a
a
troll.
troll.
The older and
I
wiser
am
you
the-
are, the less likely you are to be a troll.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I really like, what was her name? Tibby or Lily?
Libby?
Or, sorry.
Libby, I think.
Yeah, the 22-year-old. Her story
Uh-huh.
was really good, and I appreciate that she is young, coming from this experience, because my first relationship at I was 17. I kind of dealt with the same thing, and she did seem really smart and very self-aware, and that did remind me of how I was at that age, but still really locked in to a toxic relationship. I'm not trying to say her relationship is toxic. If she describes it toxic, that's fine.
Mhm.
But like in a toxic situation in a relationship. And yeah, I just really appreciated her awareness of it all. And if she wants to continue,
All right, hold on.
relation-
Hold on. What do you want to talk about? We're not here to talk about her. What do you want to share?
right. So for me, it's just like when I was 17 dealing with a 25-year-old, it was already an imbalanced relationship.
Wait, you were at
So-
17 in a relationship with a 25-year-old?
Yes. So
Okay.
that was illegal.
What's the story there?
Basically the reason why I stayed in the relationship for so long, I think I lasted in the relationship to 19, was because of the tug and pull that porn brought. Like that, almost like I was addicted to the arguments and the fights that it revolved around. And he knew that he had a kind of like it was like a power play. Obviously he was older than me, and he did use it as like a manipulation tool. So I wouldn't say porn itself is cheating, because I'm in a relationship now of like 4 years and my boyfriend does watch porn, but I believe it's the behaviors of the man that really dictates if it's cheating. So in the toxic relationship where I was a minor, that man, he used porn as like a manipulation tactic. Like if we would get in an argument, he would say, well, I'm just gonna watch porn. And then he would post like on Facebook, this was back in the Facebook days, he would just post on Facebook like his favorite porn stars, and he knew that would get me mad. If he was mad at me, he used porn as a tactic to get back at me. And that was horrific. And I had the self-esteem to know not to apply myself to that situation. Like I knew that it didn't mean that I was unattractive. He literally used it as a weapon. He weaponized porn, and the behaviors became sneaky, vindictive. But now, in contrast, I'm in a very, I would say a more mature relationship now. My boyfriend watches porn like maybe once, twice a week. And like, I'm okay with it because he's completely honest. He's amazing. He's a great guy. I don't see it leaking out into our relationship at all or affecting the way we have sex at all. I think he probably watches porn like twice, 3 times a week. And to be honest, I have a very busy schedule. We all have busy schedules. And I think it's just, well, we both know that him watching porn in my current relationship is just a means to an end. Sometimes he just needs to, and I'm not there. And that's what it is, and that's what it is, and it doesn't surpass that. But if I were to continue a relationship with a man who has a porn addiction and want kids with them and want a family with them, I'd be very wary of that, because kids find out and that will affect your kids. I found out my dad had issues in that area because, you go through your parents' phone, you look for games, you go through your parents' drawers, and I found out. So if you want to continue, for anybody who thinks they can continue a relationship with someone who is still in active addiction, know that it will affect the kids sooner or later. And of course, I encourage rehabilitation for true porn addicts. But as far as like my situation in my first relationship, that's like the weaponized usage of porn, like that.
Would you consider
that's
your
sort of-
current boyfriend to be addicted to porn?
Oh, no, not at all. Like I said, it's more like means to an end, just 2 times a week, if anything. Sometimes he just uses it to get to sleep. I work overnights. I'm a nurse. It's
Twice a
and it
week,
doesn't-
and sometimes he uses it to put himself to sleep.
Sometimes.
Got it.
Sometimes, yeah.
What would you say as a nurse if a patient said that to you, like, oh, in order to fall asleep, I need to watch porn and masturbate?
I would say if it's too often, because I know for myself sometimes I need to, have sex before I go to sleep to get to sleep. But if it's too often, I would look into insomnia. Like we would start to investigate that if they have an actual sleeping disorder. But
Got
if
it.
it's just a one-off thing.
Oh, so he's only done this one time?
No, I mean, like, it happens, like, maybe, like, once a week. Like, it's a weekly thing, but not a daily thing.
Got it. Okay. All right. So you don't think that he's addicted? Twice a week, I mean, that's actually relatively high frequency. What would you consider to be an addiction?
Daily.
Daily. Okay.
Daily.
So
I
six
would
times a
start
week, 6 times a week would not be an addiction?
Oh, I would, yeah, if it's just more days of the week than not, I would have an issue.
All right.
with
So
my
4
boyfriend
times a
doing
week. 4 times a week?
that. 4 times a week, yeah, I would start to.
All right. So your
ask him if he's
boyfriend's halfway addicted?
Maybe, but I
Okay.
don't see it having. It just hasn't had such an impact. Should I consider it cheating still? I don't know. Like,
Well, I don't
just
know. How do you
so
feel
comfortable
about
with him.
your boyfriend masturbating while watching strangers have sex on the internet and lusting after them and imagining doing things with them?
I don't even think I think that hard about it because I trust him so much. I mean, like,
Well, so what if let's say, do you guys ever go out to eat together?
yes.
All right, let's say you're sitting down and eating, and a by the world standards, a very attractive woman is sitting across the way with a shirt that leaves very little up to the imagination.
Mm-hmm.
What if your boyfriend was sitting there drooling over her for most of the meal?
He
Can't
just
keep his
doesn't-
eyes on you. How would you feel
he
about
doesn't
that?
Do that. He doesn't do
What? Well, he does with pornography, but what if he were to do it in person in front of you?
That would be like a character like change in him for sure. I'd be like, you never do that. Why are you doing that now?
Okay.
He kind of compartmentalizes porn. Like it's literally
Well,
means to an end.
how is that different than him literally watching other women and seeing them do sexual things in private? How is
yeah,
that different?
We talked about it. He's like, it's almost like disembodiment, or like it's like body parts. He's not like admiring who they are, and he's not wanting to be with them, and it's not like an emotional attachment. Like, I have boobs, they have boobs, I have ass, they have ass. Like, it's almost just like very sadly objectifying, sure, but like it's not like an emotional connection where he feels like he needs to find this person in real life and he wishes they can be in front of his face. So it's just like, I know he kind of just uses porn as a tool, not as a lustful. Maybe my boyfriend's different. Maybe he's weird, I don't know. But he just doesn't try to like seek out.
Well, I think that's kind of the problem with pornography, is he's just reducing people down to body parts and using them for
Yeah.
sexual pleasure, right?
Yeah.
You know, so now again, abstracted away from pornography being done on a screen to now in real life, at a restaurant. It's like, oh, there's a woman over there. I'm just going to reduce her down to her body parts and fantasize about the things I would do with those body parts, as opposed to seeing that person as a fully dignified human being.
Well, like, I don't know, he's not falling in love with any of these people.
He might be with their parts. He certainly isn't with them on a soul level, because he doesn't care about their soul.
And that's where it gets, you know, the porn industry is toxic itself, like the whole thing.
Why is it
people
toxic?
produce- Because it preys on vulnerable people, whichever way they became vulnerable. Like the people that create porn.
And why are you okay with your partner participating in an industry that you know, and that is true, it preys on vulnerable people to participate in it?
Yes, and I'm like, if he never watched porn again, I would be happy. But at the same time, there are industries that I partake in that are toxic, and I can't just tell everybody to stop.
Like what?
Amazon, you know.
That's a good example.
Like, come on, like there's so many lightweight things that we do all the time that's just completely damaging inside and out. And as much as I can tell him, he can tell me to stop paying for things on Amazon. That's not going to happen. I could tell him to stop participating in watching porn and objectifying women down to their body parts. He's probably not going to do that.
Why do you think it's not going to happen, though? Because it can happen, okay? I'll give you 2 examples in my life. I haven't watched porn for nearly a decade now.
Mm-hmm.
I gave up my iPhone almost a month ago. I don't have a phone. You know what else I gave up at the beginning of the year? Amazon.
That's amazing.
I used to literally, on average, I could look at my order history right now. I've had multiple years where I've averaged more than 1 order per day on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
So like 400 plus orders in a year. Crazy.
I think I have probably just as much or not more.
Yeah. And so it's possible. I did it. I don't have a phone. I don't use Amazon. I'm not saying I'm not going to do those things forever, right? But here's the difference, though, with pornography is there are victims, real life victims in pornography, right? And so it's one thing to be like, oh, I don't want to, I want to be mindful of my consumption on Amazon and all that. Yeah, that's great, right? And we could also extrapolate that out. Are there people harmed by Amazon's business practices? Sure, probably, right? But the explicit intent of Amazon isn't necessarily to put the harm of a person on display so that somebody can masturbate to it.
Yeah. So you are clean from active addiction, right? What were some of the things in your life that you started to notice that was affected due to your addiction?
Oh gosh, what a great question. Everything. Pornography teaches and reinforces us to be selfish, animalistic, carnally minded creatures who all we care about is the next best orgasm. And what I would submit to you is life and relationship is way more than the next best orgasm. Learning to have self-control and discipline over our bodies, especially in relationship, in my experience, is a much better recipe for actual intimate connection, authentic connection with another person. What we know about pornography is that it puts a wedge between you and your partner when it comes to intimacy. And I'm not talking just about sex, though it's part of it, right? Intimacy, pornography is fake intimacy. It's synthetic intimacy. I'll share the Snickers bar analogy, which I haven't shared in a while, but imagine you have a strawberry on a nice hot summer day. You have a big, fat, red, plump, juicy strawberry, and you bite into that strawberry. You're like, oh my gosh, there's nothing better than a nice ripe strawberry. Okay, now imagine that you have 4 Snickers bars and then you take a bite of that strawberry. What happens? The strawberry tastes like shit
Yeah, you're
because you
desensitized.
have blown up your taste buds in your mouth with fake synthetic food, and you wouldn't even know the taste of a good strawberry if you had one, right? So in this analogy, of course, strawberry is real intimacy. Pornography is the Snickers bars, right? So when people are enjoying Snickers bars or pornography, they're like, oh, this is great. It feels so good. I can have as many of them as I want with no consequence, right? But what happens if you eat Snickers bars all day? You'll get fat and die,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so with pornography, I mean, that's one of the things that people say is, oh, it's good, it's helpful. It's like, okay, well, let that run its course. Until you realize, oh, a lot of people realize the reason why I was using pornography is because I'm actually afraid to be intimate. I don't know how to be intimate, and I'm relying on fake synthetic intimacy in pornography. And that's what a lot of people, myself included, I was unaware of that. The intimacy that I could have with my wife it far surpassed what pornography could ever offer, because pornography can't offer real intimacy. It literally can't.
Yeah, that's correct. Do you think, like, I don't feel like there's an issue in my relationship, but I'm just wondering if he probably abandoned it for a month, maybe as like a challenge. I could see what improvements could make of it. Because I went through like I discussed earlier, like my first relationship was like an extreme weaponized usage of porn use, posting about it. So I feel like maybe now that I'm in this relationship years later, I feel like this is like a way better thing than
Yeah.
what I came
Well,
from.
look, I think that would be great. Because again, if you agree or you can see it from that perspective that pornography is fake intimacy that drives a wedge in between couples, my challenge for you and anybody else would be try giving it up for 30 days. And instead of pornography, talk about all the intimate things that need to be discussed, right? One of them being not if, but when you have an urge for sex or connection, talk about that. As opposed to being like, well, I'm just going to go use pornography. Talk about it. Well, here's what I'm wanting. Here's what I'm feeling. Here's why I'm feeling that way. Porn and sex addiction is not a porn and sex problem. It's a how you deal with life problem. People get conditioned to think, like that guy we talked to earlier, Scan Bro, right here. Hey, Scan Bro, I see you're still here. To think, I have an urge, it needs to be satisfied right now. And if not, I'm going to go do what I need to do because I'm a man and that's what I'm entitled to. Okay, well, that's one way of dealing with it. But another way would be, well, let's have a conversation about the deeper underlying desire, because the desire is not to have an orgasm.
Mm-hmm.
It's connection. The opposite of addiction is not sobriety, it's connection with other people. What we're actually wanting is connection. You didn't say that in those words, Scanbro. You're correct. I paraphrased and added to what you said in fairness to you. But that's the essence of what I got from you. And so the invitation is, well, let's talk about what's actually going on beneath the surface. Right? And try that for a month.
Yeah. I think it would be good. I don't think we're like perfect in the intimacy. I just have no complaints in the intimacy area.
Yeah, well, I hear you, and I've been doing this a long time. I've talked to a lot of people, and I would, if you were to abstain from pornography and instead build real intimacy, the further you get down that path, you may realize, oh my gosh, what were we missing?
Right. Okay.
Right.
That's what I'm getting at. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find out what we're missing here.
Totally.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, chat. Great being with you all today. Great being with you all today. My name is Austin Hamilton, also known as the Porn Coach. I help people who are wanting to break free from unwanted sexual behavior by listening to their story and what it needs to tell them. I have coaching groups for men that meet on Tuesday nights or Wednesday afternoons. It's a great place to heal together in community if you're wanting to break free from your unwanted sexual behavior and improve your relationship. I also have coaching groups for women that meet on Tuesday nights. And if you're interested in that, you can get information using the link in my bio or schedule a discovery call with me and we can talk about that in detail, what it would look for you to get involved in that. What's up, Nikki? Good to see you out there. And until next time, it's great being with you all. Make it a great day or not. The choice is always yours, always yours. Yes, Lynette, I have a group for women and for men. So you can get info using the link in my bio, schedule a call if you'd like. And until next time, quit whacking it. Or if you do, get curious about why you're doing that so much. All right, make it a great day or not. The choice is always yours. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.